We are people of faith, so we can only hope and pray that someone with good values, who's a Christian, who believes in God, can take our nation, can take our country to the new dawn.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be at Hope Alive, and good evening to all the listeners from Hope Alive.
Mr. Dagada, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I went through the website to look at the team. Very impressive. You have the young, you have the old, you have the men, and women. I was impressed to see the ladies there. I know he's going to have an issue with that, but it was very impressive. Can I just ask you, how did you bring the team together? I saw young people. I saw there's a white lady who's in legal. I saw a white gentleman who's oldish. I hope he's oldish indeed. And there's young people there as well. So how did you go about getting together these beautiful people?
When we started by sharing the vision. And I think that helped us a lot, because we noticed that many political parties start and they just go out there and they gather people, come and join, you know. And people were asking, what am I joining? What's going on here? So we didn't focus on the come and join. We just shared the vision to say, this is where South Africa is. We believe South Africa should be in a different place. We have a vision for this country. And if you want to come help us build this vision, come and join us. And, you know, I think it was true to itself. When people saw the vision, they heard the vision, they all came in and they said, you know what, we want to be a part of this vision. And I think the beautiful thing about Arise South Africa is that it's a teamwork. You know, I always say to people that it's unfortunate that people only see me, but when you come through to our meetings, you really get to see that it's such a dynamic team. We have, you know, young graduates, we have activists, we've got professionals, we even have professors, we've got the old guys as well. So really, we were a young, dynamic team that everybody there is drawn by vision to say, look, we can do this. If we stand together and we say we want to see change and we're a part of it, we can definitely see that change.
The challenge of investors, because now most of the time they will tell you that whoever invests or whoever supports you will come with terms and conditions. Maybe that's the issue why most of our minerals goes out of the country. How do we then balance that?
The Bible says the earth is the Lord's. It didn't say the earth belongs to certain people that are able to do things that others cannot do. And I think that's what we've learned to believe, you know. I said to somebody the other day to say, when we talk about these people and we say they're investors, it's as though we are saying that no one in Africa can ever be an investor. Or it's as though we are saying nobody wants to invest in Africa, which is not true. The danger is that a lot of them are saying we don't want to invest because of the corruption we've seen in the government. And I think that's what we must deal with. And that's why we're going to vote to say we need a new government. Because every investor out there wants to invest in a place where they can see their returns. And in Africa, where we have all the minerals, we literally have a labor force that is young. You know, I was saying to somebody the other day that you go to Europe, you go to certain countries and you look for young people that want to do anything. They tell you our population is old. They don't have young people. Here you've got sharp minds. If you want to build an industrial factory to produce vehicles, you can start them at grade 1. You know that from grade 1, I can cook them to the point where when they get there, this factory is sustainable. So the investors are not wanting to come because they see the corruption that's going on. And the investors are looking for the right people to actually come into government. And that's why we can't overemphasize to say, the Bible has told us that righteousness exalts a nation. When the righteous are in power, the investors will come. And when the investors come, they are not just coming to invest because we must also get out of the mind of just being receivers. They are also coming to ensure that we are empowered so that we ourselves as Africans can also invest. Because we want to see a new world where our investors are our own, where we have young people as well investing, and we ensure that we're able to grow these industries like that.
The second question I have for you, I went through your values as well. You have the freedom, equality, you have integrity, and you have solidarity, which stood out for me. When you speak of solidarity, you speak of working together with others or doing things together with the others. He's asked a question on open borders. What is your stand on that one?
I think that's a very good question. And, where we stand on the borders is very important for people to understand that we cannot be on the fence when it comes to criminality. So that's our first stance, to say it is illegal for somebody to go into somebody's house without proper due course, permission. And we cannot allow for illegal people that are undocumented to be in our country. Because if that person commits a crime, if they rape somebody, how are we supposed to know or bring them to justice when our legal system doesn't know that they exist in this country? So we took a decision to say, when it comes to illegal foreigners, we cannot allow that. However, we also believe and we understand that a country or Africa can only grow by working together.
Yes.
So we come in with that perspective to say we want to work together with many other African countries. Yes, we'll work together with the rest of the world, but with Africa we want to work together because we've understood that there's strength in unity and there's strength in us speaking in one voice. A very simple thing. South Africa and African countries trade more with international countries than they do with their own countries.
Sure.
And what that means for us is that certain things that we might not have, that our neighboring countries might have, we are just not utilizing. And we are going out there and getting them from somewhere else. So it becomes important for us to realize that we must also build Africa as a strong unit. Because you cannot be strong as a country alone. That's why the United States of America, United States of America, is the strongest, because they are united. And it becomes important that even as Africa, we understand that we must unite as Africa to ensure that Africa can actually take its rightful place.